But he just said hey, and I saw him for the first time and I was like, oh my god. Yes, he was so good looking. I was like, wow. And then his voice, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, we just hugged. Like, it was really, really nice. And it was just like, I don't know, it was just honestly the best feeling ever. My hay fever is honestly rampant. Like, actually crazy. I am blowing my nose so much. There is so much snot, dare I say, flooding out of my nose. My eyes are so itchy, they're puffy, the roof of my mouth just won't stop itching. It's a joke. It's actually a joke. Does anyone else have hay fever right now? Because if you do, I honestly feel your pain and your struggles. Ugh, I just can't even deal. But anyway, I mentioned that all in my last video, and I am gonna mention it again because I don't know, I just feel like you guys need to feel my pain. But anyway, that's definitely not the topic of today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. It's like a huge story time, this video, because I'm basically sharing how I met my boyfriend, who is Angelo. You guys have met him from start to finish with all the details, like everything, okay? We're not skipping out any information that you guys should hear. I mean, not everything, okay? But mostly everything. I hope you enjoy watching. Like, definitely get yourself a drink, a snack, because this is a movie, okay? This is your live romance show on Holly's channel. It's a story time, a romantic story time, a love story, we could say. Definitely like it if you do enjoy it. Leave any comments, questions down below, and if you want to stick around and subscribe, you can click the button down below somewhere and turn the bell on so you know when I upload. But anyway, we're gonna dive straight into this video because there is so much to share. I could write a book about this, but I'm not going to. I'm also wearing this jumper, which I wear all the time at the moment because it is the one that Angelo had. It was his and now it's mine because he gave it to me for Valentine's Day, and our little bracelets, which I'm matching. I should say this isn't tea. I mean, I am spilling tea in this video, but this isn't tea and I don't want to spill it. But anyway, a hot drink. Like, when I have a hot drink in front of me, I just want to drink it all. Like, sit there and sip it all at once. Does anyone else have this issue, or is it just me? Put it down, Holly. Put it down. This is like my first proper and official relationship, and I just never thought this would happen. They always say that these things happen at very unexpected times. A lot has changed in my life, as I've said, but like, it's all so positive and amazing. I have my head in the clouds. Yes, my feet are on the floor. Yeah, I just wanted to share those details, which don't really matter because we have the main event to come. I guess, like, a little disclaimer I will say, especially for those of you who followed me for quite a while, I do just simply document my life. You're gonna see him in more of my vlogs because he's a big part of my life now, and we might do some dedicated and couples type videos together, but it doesn't mean that my whole channel is gonna be about us as a couple. It's not gonna be a couples channel. It will still be my channel, but yeah, because I do document my life, it's very hard to exclude him, and I always knew that I wanted to share it, but I'm not sharing everything at all. Like, you see a very tiny proportion of my life. I put my life online, I know that. People scrutinize it. The internet is full of opinions and I can never please everyone. I know that. I'm just a normal human being sharing my life, and I try my best, you know? So cheers to that, I guess. Oh, I do apologize. Phone sister. She's in a relationship. She's thriving. I'm still living my best life. I'm loving life, and I am so excited for like everything to come. As I've said before, I genuinely feel like I found my soulmate. This is such a big story, and I know we need to start at the beginning, but like, where to start? Don't really know. Could approach this from multiple angles, we could say. The funny thing is about this whole story is that it was so unexpected. Yes, I have to thank Hinge, the dating app, and if you've watched my channel for a while or you've heard me talk about these topics, you'll know that I've said quite a few times that I don't really like dating apps. I never saw myself using them, getting into a relationship through a dating app, and here I am sitting here talking to you guys about my story of how I met my boyfriend, how I met Angelo through Hinge, which is honestly madness, okay? Angelo and I always talk about how crazy it is because both of us feel the same. Like, we never thought we'd get into a relationship through a dating app. I'm not sponsored by Hinge, okay, but like, that app I have to thank, if we go back to last year when I made the video about my dating app experience, worst idea I've ever had is to make a dating profile on Hinge and go on a first date for a YouTube video challenge. I feel like that's very clear about my intentions. I will leave that link down below, and I'm not going to talk about everything, but essentially that whole video was centered around me talking about the conversations I had with Angelo. I spoke about it very indirectly and I didn't say his name at all, but through the conversations I had with Angelo, my whole perception on using the dating app and my plans with it completely changed. Like, we had a full 180, okay? I often say 360, but I realized that 360 is back in the same position. So we had a 180, okay? I downloaded Hinge with the intention of making a YouTube video where I found someone on Hinge, I went on a date with them. At the time, and when I first came up with this idea, I thought it would be fun, you know? I had made a video where I asked strangers on dates in London, and this was like a level up from that. So I was like, great, I'll download the app. So I got it in late May 2022, and you know, I started using the app. Obviously, I was trying to find someone to go on a date with through the app. Long story short, that never happened because I met Angelo, we could say, through the app. There was something there, okay? I, at that point, just did not feel right making a video or like taking Angelo on a date to make a video. It would not have been fair for Angelo or myself to do that because we wouldn't have known where we stood. If you bring YouTube and content creation into something that was organic and natural and felt so bright and special, I really don't know what would have happened. So I am so glad that I took a step back and I decided not to make that YouTube video. So that's kind of like the long story condensed, our like talking stage. But what happened in a bit more detail, so I was, you know, on Hinge one evening. I was just scrolling as I usually had been doing, and this message popped in. Well, actually, yeah, it was a message. On Hinge you add photos obviously, but you also add like prompts. You can have like voice prompts, you can hear someone's voice. Angelo basically slid into my Hinge DMs, we could say, by replying to my marathon photo. I have screenshots of everything, okay? It's kind of mad. This was my marathon photo, which I put on my Hinge profile. What did he say? I have it because, as I said, I have every screenshot. He basically said, crazy, exclamation mark, what are your times? And that was like the first message he sent me. I obviously was just brushing my teeth and this comes in. I was like, oh. Clicked on his profile and let's just say I really liked what I saw, so I decided to reply. I basically just said I ran once, so I have a time. But you know, our first conversation was about running, and we basically started talking through the app. We would talk every day, and I think this happened over like 2 weeks. And I mean, we weren't talking like frequently during the day, but we were sending very long messages. Like, let me show you the length of some of these messages, okay? They were like essays. It was getting ridiculous. We had so many different conversations happening in one big conversation, talking literally about everything, because we realized that we had so much in common. If you've seen me message or write captions, I use a lot of emojis, and so these messages were filled with emojis. It was like a highlight of my day to read his message and then reply. As I said, we were just writing essays between each other, and you guys know I do love a good essay. So yeah, this went on, okay, and on. These are screenshots still. I have all of them, everything. That's maybe a bit strange, but whatever. I feel like I am missing some details, but basically near to the start of like our conversation on Hinge, Angelo did ask if we wanted to like hang out or something. I think that was how he phrased it, and at that point I like almost dropped my phone because I was so scared. It then did move to WhatsApp, and we continued talking and writing essays and stuff like this. Obviously, in the back of my mind I was having, you know, second thoughts, not over Angelo, but I was just like, oh my gosh, I've met a stranger basically on the internet. I always knew, or I always kind of said to myself, I didn't want to meet someone through a dating app. So I was almost like trying to find a reason not to keep talking to him, because I was like, I shouldn't do this, you know, like dating apps, I've always said I don't like them. And so this kind of leads me on to the bit of the story, or our story, where I'm not gonna say it's a rejection. Angelo will joke sometimes and say it was me rejecting him, but genuinely it was just me guessing inside my head, overthinking everything and just getting really scared. Part of me is like, I wish I'd never have done that. But okay, I need to pause, the battery's dying and everything. We're back, okay? Oh, a bit too low. I love the chat search function in WhatsApp because you can just search for things. What did I say? I'm searching mango. Oh my god. We've spoken about mangoes a lot. Oh, here we go. This was on the 11th of June. And let me just emphasize, I felt so bad doing this because things were going so well and I really liked him, but I just got so scared, like so scared. And it's a very me thing to do. I basically said, hey, I'm so incredibly sorry I forgot to reply to this. If I don't reply fairly soon, then I often forget to do it. As I said, we were kind of talking every day, and at one point I kind of didn't reply for like a couple of days. So obviously Angela was like, what is this girl doing? But anyway, I said, been pretty busy this week and I was also having a bit of a crisis and freak out. And this is nothing at all against you. The whole getting to know someone from a dating app was screwing me over in my head, the overthinker that I am. It's been so nice talking to you, it really has, but I think I just need some time to figure things out in my head. Again, and because I really want to emphasize this, I've loved talking, but as I said, my overthinking self needs some time. Now this was me being like, oh my gosh, I downloaded the app wanting to make a video. But I've met this guy who I really like, and there is something there, but I just don't know what to do because I'm going traveling, and am I ready for this? I don't know. Should I just run away from it all because I don't want to let him down? Everything was going on in my head. So obviously Angela was super nice about it, but we said like our kind of goodbyes at that point, and it was left at that in June. And up until, I'm gonna say, let's just say December, okay? We were still sometimes messaging, very occasionally, but like bouncing back a few messages. They were not essays at this point. Like deep down I knew there was something there still, and I think Angela would say the same. Even though I'd never met him in person, I feel like I really knew him because we'd spoken so much on Messenger, and we just got on so well. Like I cannot stress to you how much we had in common. When things actually start to happen, we meet, let's say. Trying to find the right bit of this story. Let's fast forward to December now. As I said, the 8th of December, Angelo messages me basically asking if I wanted to go on a 30-kilometer run. I was filming Vlogmas at this time, and I'd just like done the London Marathon for the second time in October, so I wasn't like training for anything. I was just in the post-marathon blues, we could say, which is a really tough time after a race, I'm not gonna lie. But this message popped up on my phone. I was in bed, it came in at like 00:05, 5 minutes past midnight. My phone like lit up, so I remember literally getting out of bed to look at my phone, and I see this message from Angela, which was so unexpected, but I was like, oh hello. I was like a bit taken aback by the message, like a 30-kilometer run. I was like, wow, that's a long way. That's 12 kilometers off the marathon. I put my phone down, went back to bed, thought about it, processed it in my head, and the next day I replied. I thought that was Angelo asking me on a date, I'm not gonna lie. A run? And then he was like, do you want to get vegan food afterwards? And I was like, definitely. But on the other hand, Angelo at that point kind of thought that I'd friend zoned him because of the message I sent him previously, and so his intention was not for this to be a date. It was just to like meet me, and he thought I was a really cool person and liked running and would love to run with someone who's done a marathon. So that was his reasoning for sending me that message and asking me to go on the run. But obviously I was like, oh my gosh, this is a date. In my head I was like, okay, this could go somewhere. You know, I like this guy, I really love talking to him, and because I knew that this year, so 2023, I was going to be going away and doing a lot of traveling, I just wouldn't have said yes to that had I not thought it would have gone somewhere, because I felt a certain way. I had this really strong gut feeling, so I was like, yeah, why not? I'm gonna go on this run. Had I not thought that, I wouldn't have said yes to this. I just didn't want to waste Angelo's time, screw him over. So we're in December now. Obviously I'm vlogging, doing Vlogmas, and I am going on a 30-kilometer run this morning in London. I'm doing it with someone. And yeah, this is something I've never done before. Yes, we go on this 30-kilometer run, and then we went to Clean Kitchen basically afterwards, got food, and all this time, you know, I'm thinking it was a date. But when we kind of realized that, okay, maybe this was more than friends, I didn't want to friend zone him, and at the same time, he wanted it to go further. Like, we've had so many conversations about this now, but I picked up on one of the messages that he sent me after the run. He said that was probably one of like the worst days out with a friend you've ever had, because basically we had some of our stuff stolen when we left it in a bag, and it was raining the whole time. But when he said friends, I was like, oh my gosh, is he friend zoning me? So I sent a message back being like, are you friend zoning me? Like, I asked him that because I was like, oh my gosh, am I being friend zoned? But as I said, that was because Angelo thought I'd friend zoned him. All a bit confusing, I know, but he was like, no, not friend zoning. And at that point I was like, okay, phew. After that run, we went on a series of dates throughout the rest of December, at the start of January, before we made things official in January. And now this is my journal. I've written in here like about all of our dates kind of thing, so I have them written down. So the first time we met in person, like, that was the run, you know, that was definitely my type of date. I know it's not for everyone, but like a 30k run and vegan food, that was like such a cool first date for me. Like, that was like my ideal first date. We now agree that that was our first date because we've spoken about it. But basically after that, when we met in London again, I didn't really know what we were gonna do. And I need to give credit to Angelo because he arranged like most of these dates. But we went to Winter Wonderland, so I went for the first time ever. And that was so unexpected. He'd booked tickets to see this show in Winter Wonderland. We got food there. This whole time I wasn't really vlogging or filming too much or even taking too many pictures because I was just really trying to live in the moment and, you know, experience this all for myself. After that, we then went to the Barbican, which is basically the Barbican Centre. They had this art exhibition, so it was a Carolee Schneemann or something art exhibition. The artwork is very provocative. She basically made a piece with her period blood, so it was a great way to like break the ice and for us to just like talk about different things. I mean, I didn't even say, like, going back to the first 30k run, when we first met in person, obviously, yes, I was so nervous. I remember getting the train and just being like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. But I just remember I was waiting at Battersea Station because we did the run around Battersea Park, and I just remember him coming around the door and just being like, hey, not in that high-pitched voice because he has a really low voice, but he just said hey. And I saw him for the first time and I was like, oh my god, yes, he was so good looking. I was like, wow. And then his voice, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, we just hugged. Like, it was really nice. We both felt like really comfortable straight away. We got into a conversation. We did the run and we were talking the whole time, and yeah, like, we got on just instantly. It was as if, as I said, we'd known each other for a really long time. Oh, talk of Andrew now. Just message me. So yeah, back to the Barbican. We looked around that, and then we also went and got food at Stem and Glory around that area. So I'd been before, Angela had never been. We had a really nice meal. That was like our first formal sit down, get food, and at that point we kind of addressed the whole elephant in the room surrounding the fact that I was going away traveling. Now, I won't give you all the details, but we did talk about how we could make it work, because at that point we addressed in person that we liked each other quite a lot. Stem and Glory and the Barbican was after Christmas but before New Year, and then Greenwich was in the New Year, so in January 2023, I think. I literally have one photo from that day. We went to Greenwich, basically, in London. That is when I had my first ever cinema date. We went to an Indian vegan vegetarian place called Hullabaloo. It was quite a funny experience. But then we went and saw Avatar at the Greenwich Picture House. So yeah, we got like kombuchas, we had these vegan sweets that I brought. Yeah, like, that was me trying to organize a date basically at that point. I feel like I did kind of well. But then after that we met, well, Angelo wanted to basically see me before he went away to Amsterdam. So he was going away with his friends, and it was a Wednesday, I remember. He just wanted to come and see me. There were strikes on this day, and this was when it like really spoke a lot to me. Like, actions speak a lot louder than words often. So we met kind of like nearer to where I live instead of in central London. He came to me. We had not the best experience with food, but like the actual date, we could say, was super nice. And then later that week, after he got home from Amsterdam, so this was Sunday, and that, my friends, is when everything like became official. Like, everything came together. My single era has come to an end. Oh my god. That was the day when he basically asked me to be his girlfriend. We were in St Pancras International. I was staring at this sign that is really kind of romantic, I think. it says basically, I want my time with you, and it has this statue of this man and this woman like hugging, embracing, and it was just like, I don't know, it was just honestly the best feeling ever. Honestly, one of the best days of my whole entire life. I just can't even put it into words, but like that is basically how everything has happened, and I am so happy. As I said, like I never thought I would meet someone so special online through Hinge. Like it just blows my mind, but it goes to show that sometimes you have to get off your pedestal. I was saying to myself, like, Holly, you can't meet someone online, you can't meet through a dating app. Like dating apps, you don't like them, they're not for you. But realistically, if it comes to be and it happens, like don't try and push it away. Like I was trying so hard to push something away, push something so incredible away from me, just because I was worried about meeting someone on a dating app. And as I said, I was also kind of scared. I'd never been in this situation, so obviously I was going to be a bit apprehensive, but honestly I cannot tell you how much it's like just added to my life, and I am so excited for everything ahead. As I said, like I will share with you guys some of what we get up to. Obviously big plans for the next few years, like we want to do a lot of traveling. He is going to be in my videos and stuff. We're planning to start off with Southeast Asia this year, so in just over a month's time we are actually going to Thailand and then to other Southeast Asian countries. I hope everything kind of made sense. I know there were a few bits that were all over the place, but you know, that is how I met my boyfriend, through Hinge. It is definitely possible to meet people online on dating apps. Please don't shy away from them. Obviously I would also say, like, make sure you know your intentions, and I mean mine definitely changed, but like know why you want to be on the app. If you're looking for a short-term thing, long-term thing, be open about that and communicate that with the person so you don't let them down or anything. But that is basically everything from me. I'm gonna like stop talking. I've been talking for such a long time, and yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said at the start, definitely a like it if you did, comment down below, subscribe if you are new, and hit the bell so you know when I upload. And as always, I'll speak to you very soon in another video. Bye. Why can you see this t-shirt under the top? I don't like that, but I'm also gonna be cold if I take it off. It's such a struggle. Excuse me. Hot drink. Hopefully I don't touch my hair too much in the video, she says, and I'm just already touching it too much. Oh, hello. This is just too good not to drink. I'm getting pins and needles in my leg. Sorry, I just swallowed the drink the wrong way. Great start, Holly. I hope this is making sense, because I feel like I'm kind of confusing myself, and if you're confused, then I've done a very bad job at explaining. Like, oh, hello. Wow, this is so exposed. I do apologize. And now we're running out of battery. Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep going until the battery dies. I still have something in my throat. Maybe it's just water. I don't even know. Okay, so just strangle. Sorry, a date. Like a date in the calendar to do it, okay? Was it January? I need to check the date. Was it January? Was it January Sorry, I need to stop saying that. I can't believe I finally shared the story. Buzz, we don't want that.